Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to 20 Sides to Every Story. Tonight it is our second session of The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. If you're watching this as a replay on YouTube, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to drop by our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/20 Sides to Every Story, if you want to catch this campaign live. We go live with this one every Tuesday starting at 7:30. But otherwise, thanks for hanging out with us here on YouTube. We appreciate you checking out the videos. Um, is this your first time checking us out? Just want to give you a brief little introduction to us. 20 Sides Every Story is a gaming community. We produce live plays of a pretty wide range of different tabletop role-playing games. We play mostly D&D 5th edition, I'd say, but we do dabble in some other things: Dungeon Crawl Classics, Call of Cthulhu. Um, Sometimes we even get game designers to pop on here and share what they're cooking up. I know next Friday we've got Pete Petrucia from Imagining Games is going to give us a little taste of Chew, which he is calling a foodie crime storytelling role-playing game. I don't know. It looks pretty wild. I'm looking forward to playing it. We've had him on before, so yeah, we do a bunch of stuff here. So um, we're also, we're just a great open community for jumping in games, finding people to play with, talk about tabletop and all that sort of stuff. So probably the best thing to do besides just watching the streams, watching the videos, is join our Discord server. Um, on Twitch, you'll find a link to do so in the About section of the channel. And on YouTube, just check the description of this video, and there'll be an invite link there. We just have folks that are always offering up one-shots or opportunities to get into campaigns in our LFG channel in Discord. So just a great place to hang out and chat with other tabletop enthusiasts. The other notable thing about our community is we run an open campaign that anyone can join. We call this our community campaign. Currently, we're playing through the Temple of Elemental Evil. There's a 5th edition conversion of all that Goodman Games put out, and we've got a couple of new players joining us on Friday. So yeah, we've got 30 plus players running around in that campaign. Each session has kind of a different combination of players. It's a great way to just get to know other people in the community, come hang out and get in a game. So if you join the Discord, you'd like to check that out, you can find there's a section in the Discord where there's some game signups, so you can check all that out. Um, yeah, so we our first session where we last left off, our characters came to the Witchlight Carnival, a fairground of kaleidoscopic tents and wagons that travels from world to world and has arrived previously on the material plane once every 8 years, pretty much on schedule. The characters have returned here to the Witchlight Carnival because 8 years ago themselves they had all been at the carnival and had lost something important to them. Hearing that the carnival was once again stopping off near Waterdeep, where they all reside, they've all collectively come back to the carnival with this lingering hope that they might be able to recover their lost things. They first stopped by the most obvious location of the property, the lost property wagon. They spoke with a displacer beast named Durlagron, and Durlagron regretfully informed them she didn't know about their lost things. She tried, she looked through the wagon, but professed this she didn't know where their things were, and she also kind of shared that the disappearance, the losing of things, of objects, not such an uncommon occurrence, a kind of a common complaint. She also told them her own sad story of not losing a thing, but rather losing her child, Star, some years ago. And with some degree of sorrow, she explained that the owners of the carnival, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, were unable to help her find this missing cub. Um, and so uh, characters split ways with her. They continued on. They stopped off. They kind of dabbled in a few different things, but their next big stop was the Bubble Pop Teapot. It was just sort of an amusement ride in which one would enter this structure. It's kind of shaped like a teapot, and once you find yourself inside, you would appear inside this magical bubble that would then disperse from the spout of the teapot and allow you to kind of fly around the carnival. Um, Party was not so good at directing these things, and they kind of scattered to the four winds. Only Vish and Arlo managed to kind of go in the direction, kind of following Arlo's lead. Arlo wanted to go and stop by the snail racing to see his friend Lise Mello. Um, the others have kind of scattered a bit at this point. How are they doing on rerolls? I don't have my overlay kind of set up for rerolls. I think a few of them still have theirs from the previous session. I think they all had like one or so. So I presume they're tracking that and whatnot. Um, I'll have to get something up on the screen here so we can do communal rerolls because that system works a little bit better. Anyway, so yeah, so you kind of scatter to the different areas of the carnival. Shion, you kind of were floating off. I'm gonna switch my screen here so the folks at home can kind of see where we're at. And Galaxian just redeemed by the DM a reroll. Hey, thanks for the reroll. And so Shion had kind of like headed up kind of more to the northeastern side of the carnival. Um, Sort of floating over kind of closer to where the carousel is over here. I think you kind of looked at that. You decided, you know what? There's more to see over here. I'm gonna just keep floating and see what else I see. And you were kind of hovering. Last we left off at kind of near this feasting orchard. Where it seems like there's all sorts of different pies and things kind of laid out. Looks like maybe a little bit of a eating competition maybe is about to spur. Um, uh, Lim Green, you were almost headed kind of directly out of the carnival, and you kind of made a decision to pop your bubble. You'd seen that there was a Kenku that was like kind of running around causing mischief earlier, and you'd seen that the Kenku kind of did this little blow dart thing at someone else's bubble, and saw that they didn't really come crashing down to the ground, maybe the way the Kenku was kind of hoping. It seems like he was kind of a troublemaker, but actually just kind of float down. And so you had done that and arrived over here near this wagon where a gnome was sitting on the back of the wagon with a stringed instrument and kind of had a little bit of a curious conversation. We didn't really resolve that conversation. We'll probably get to that here tonight. Maple, you had headed kind of down over here, closer to where the mystery mine was. You'd popped your balloon, went down there, talked to the operator of the ride. He tried to entice you into punching your card and taking a ride into the mystery mine, but you had decided, I'm going to hold off and see if I can find the others. And so that's where we left you off. Vish and Arlo, you spent some time at the snail racing. It would appear that Vish is quite skilled at the art of racing snails and actually won that race. And so, I don't remember. You got some prizes, didn't you? I think you both you got something for being the best and something for being the worst.
We sure, we sure did.
So surprises were doled out there at the snail racing, and that's kind of where we left it. I think the Vish and Arlo, you kind of got a tip off from Arlo's friend that because you had inquired what happened to my stuff, after I never showed back up 8 years ago, and well, she didn't really know, but she suggested, probably like if anybody would know, it would be the owners of the carnival, so you'd maybe go check in with them. They typically hang out over in the staff area. They've got a wagon there, so I think that was your next destination. But um, we're gonna start things off here. So we got a little bit of a party split. We're gonna just kind of check in with everybody and kind of see how this all comes back together. So we're gonna start with Shion, and as you're floating above the carnival, um, you see that there's sort of this little bit of a park over here, and some different tents laid out, numerous tables, and music is playing. There's the scent of flowers and mead, and you can see berry pies are just kind of stacked up on all those tables. There are stilt walkers that are plucking fruit from some of the higher trees that seem to be kind of growing in this orchard that sort of runs the perimeter of this little park. And musicians are drumming and piping and strumming. Everywhere there's singing, there's some dancing that's happening. A lot of kids kind of hanging out and enjoying over in that area, and just an inordinate amount of pies kind of laid out.
Awesome. That looks like a place I definitely want to visit, maybe catch some lunch. So I will try to use my staff to pop my bubble.
You pop your bubble and you just sort of feather fall down. It gives you kind of a thrilling sensation as you kind of moonwalk down there to the ground floor and touch down. And almost immediately, there are folks that kind of grab your hand and kind of like urge you to kind of come in and enjoy some of the festivities. Somebody hands you it's like being at the Renaissance Fair. There's just like all this activity happening. Somebody thrusts a mug of some kind of a berry wine into your hands, and they um, kind of guide you into where the festivities are.
Excellent. This is my scene. So yeah, I'll definitely drink the berry wine and take a look around, see if I can find something to eat for lunch, and take in the musicians.
So you're kind of sitting there and enjoying this and seeing this, and it at some point there's like kind of this oversized like halfling who just has like kind of like fine tuning. He kind of looks like some one of like the Munchkins from like the Wizard of Oz, like just like prim and proper, like one of the official, like the mayor guy. Like
Yep.
he's there. He's got kind of a big sideburns, top hat, and he's kind of roly poly, and he's looking at his watch, and he starts to kind of bark at the crowd a little bit and he says, "Okay, festival goers, it's just about time for the fairy cake eating contest. If you're looking to enter into the competition, come right up this way. We'll get you entered in. One punch of a ticket to enter."
I mean, I don't usually indulge in pie like that, but sure, we'll try one or two.
And he says, there's a little bit of a line. There's like, not like it's certainly not everybody that's like rushing over here to do this, but there's probably five or six others that like make their way up there. There's definitely like there's a dwarven woman who's just kind of patting her stomach, like she's eyeing up the cakes, and she's kind of you can see her doing like a little bit of calculus, like what how to pace herself and like what does she have to do to win. And there's another halfling, there's a goblin, like there's just like kind of this motley crew of folk that are heading up that way. And the crowd, or the carnival barker, is kind of, he looks like maybe he's like a little disappointed in like how he was hoping that like maybe some more people were going to show up, and he says, "Okay, I can see that the thrill of the hunt isn't enough for some of you yokels. Let's sweeten the pot. The winner of this competition will get none other than this." And he holds up this like vial, and he's like, "This is a potion of invisibility. Big prize for the one that can eat the most pies." And of course, more rhyming. And so you get up there and like somebody like an attendant kind of like takes you over to one of the tables, and you can see this is like your station. And the halfling says, "All right, this is a timed event. On the count of three, start eating. One, two, three." And you can see the others just kind of like head first are just starting to like mow down on these pies. So the
Oh
mechanics
no,
of this.
I'm gonna daintily go about it. Take a little bit with my hand, eat
Okay.
it. A little bit with my hand, and eat it.
Okay, so you can see, so you start to like put some of this down. You can see you're probably losing some ground um, to some of the others.
Oh yeah.
Maybe about like 20 seconds go by, and you can see like the dwarven woman has like put down like 3 so far.
I'm in it for the taste, not the competition at this point.
Okay, okay. So you don't you're not in it. You're in it for the free pie, and
Yep,
so
lunch.
you enjoy it's like kind of this nice like kind of custard taste, and you enjoy it. 60 seconds go by. That seems to be what the time limit was, and the clear winner is this dwarven woman who just kind of like throws her hands up in triumph, and the halfling goes over there and hands her this vial and says, "All right, there you have it, folks. Your champion fairy cake eating contest winner. What's your name, ma'am?" And she says, "Matilda." And she's like, "Way to go, give it up for Matilda." And everyone's kind of clapping, and band starts playing, and it's just a sort of a jovial kind of scene.
Awesome. I will hang out there and enjoy the jovial scene and finish my one pie.
Sounds good. So you're over there taking in the sights, the scene, and I think we'll head over and check in with Arlo and Vish. So the two of you, remember it's nighttime, the stars are out, and you're walking from the snail racing area up over this way. And you pass by this building off to your left. It's sort of a, um, not quite as big as the big top tent, but it's definitely some kind of, some kind of, uh, piece of amusement or something. There's sort of like a wooden platform that's been propped up in front of the tent is sort of like a walkway, and right in front of it seems like there's one little kind of central like entrance there. And thank you to the chat for thanks Nuthouse for the cheer. Um, as you pass by there, you just see that there's like this I guess it's like a glass cabinet. And inside there is like this, almost like a full size, almost kind of looks like a mannequin, I guess. Sort of looks like a woman with kind of raven hair, black kind of flowing robe, green cape. Um, and there at the top of the cabinet, there's a sign that reads Tasha the Wizard, known for her hideous laughter. Standing nearby, kind of not quite. I'm going to point out where the cabinet is because it's not. It's right here. So it's kind of like standing right near like where the walk, like the wooden platform, like the steps to the platform are. And then you also see like standing at the entranceway to the tent is this um, man who he's sort of got an odd look to him. Like it almost looks like his clothes and even his like face and skin are just sort of like monochromatic. Like he's just sort of this almost like pale, really pale green. He's got a little pointy hat. He's wearing a set of those butterfly wings. He's kind of tucked into like a tunic. He looks very forlorn, maybe bored, and you can see he's got a little ticket puncher thing in his hand, and he seems to be the person that allows you entrance into this. There's a sign over the entrance that says Hall of Illusions.
Um,
Oh.
I think Vish might go up to the man. Excuse me.
Hi. I'm sorry. Just where could we find possibly the staff area? We're looking for Miss. What is Arlo? What are the names? Light,
Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.
Mr. Witch, and Mr. Light.
He kind of points to the northeast a bit.
Yeah.
You can see
So
there's
that-
like kind of an area where there's like sort of this hedge that grows up maybe 10 feet or so. Seems like it's right behind the big top tent.
I don't think this person talks much.
Oh,
Just points. Maybe because he doesn't want to have to rhyme.
is that why?
It could be.
No, then why? Maybe hold on. Well, maybe it's okay. Hold on. You might have seen. I'm actually maybe I can ask you. I'm looking for these little. I'm looking for these little Tinker Toes. It's in the set, and these Tinker Toes. They have there are 3 that are pink, and there's why you do? Hold on, you're making. Hold on, I'm trying to describe it to you. Stop moving so much, please. Oh yeah, okay, continue. Okay, so and one of them. Oh, huh?
Have you seen a set of Tinker Tools, sir? 3 with a pink ribbon and others that have other ribbons on them.
Purple ribbon,
And
yes.
purple
ribbons.
ribbons.
And then one of them is shaped like a zebra, but it doesn't. It's actually not. It's actually just a horse. Just the wood grains make it look like a zebra.
So you haven't seen that? Okay. What's with the laughing person in the glass case?
Kind of
Okay,
gestures.
you can't talk.
He kind of gestures to go towards it. And then he like rolls his eyes and he gestures towards it again. And then he just like falls on his back and he's like rubbing his belly.
This person is strange, yes?
Oh, I know. I think I laughing. It's you can't. You eat. You got it. You're hungry.
Has no voice.
Oh no, you have no voice. Yes. Okay. Yes, there's
Where,
no voice.
is it like, okay, cool. Well, see you later.
Hold on.
Oh, wait.
Hold on.
Oh,
Hold
you
on.
don't want us to walk over by the laughing thing.
Did you lose something here?
You lost your voice here? Wait a second.
You're a chicken. You were used to be a chicken, and now, no. Oh, no. Don't. Okay. Fly. Wings. Wings.
Wings.
Okay.
Blow dart. The
No,
Kenku.
no. Thank you.
The Kenku that has the blow dart that blows down the bubbles.
He took your voice.
How?
That son of a gun. Why did you do that?
You don't know how? Well, we better go find this. Well, where do you think have you seen the Kenku here often? That's like a yes or no.
Do you know them personally? Did you?
No, you
did
don't know the
slight-
person.
Did you like them in any way?
Just a mischievous Kenku.
A what?
An
Say that
asshole,
again?
I think. I read
Oh.
lips, yeah.
I saw. I confused the correct. You know
That
that's
was
a
what you
bad
said,
word.
right?
You can't say that. I don't know. I don't talk like that. Oh.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye out for the Kenku and your voice, because maybe that Kenku also has your stuff, fish.
He just like
He's
grabs
very
you and
cool.
like hugs you.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. Do you want us to beat him up? Okay, I can't. I just
Yeah,
you just want it back. And then
He
we'll
just
get you
wants us-
something to. Then we'll get you something to eat. Exactly. Yeah, we got you.
You know, there's. All right, well, let's go.
Yeah. We'll
Maybe
go,
others in the
yeah.
staff area have seen the Kenku and can give us a lead on where to find him or her.
Yeah, and she's gonna go and look back at you. We're gonna catch that.
Do you ever go near that cabinet?
I think we might still. What do you think, Arlo? You think we might
I
still
mean,
walk
I'm
by
going to
it?
give it a passing glance as I walk by. I'm not sure if, I think I'm kind of more interested in getting to the staff area and finding out about stuff. But, it's not like I'm putting distance between it and me or anything. So if I'll probably maybe walk this route, so I would end up walking right past it.
Okay. If you do, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Aha. Wisdom. $16.
Okay. You kind of get a little tickle in your throat, but nothing more than that.
Does it feel like they wanted me to laugh?
Yeah, that's exactly what it
Uh-huh.
felt like.
Well, if I don't notice it, then I guess I'm gonna be walking by too.
Sure. Make a wisdom saving throw.
All right. Wisdom save.
Ooh.
15.
And you also feel a little something for a split moment, but just sort of a weird tick, and you continue walking towards that overgrown area.
My allergies are kicking in.
So, I think we'll come back to you guys as you head over
Okay.
that way. We'll check in now with Lim. So, you head over.
I was by that little
Yeah.
cart.
Yep. You just touched down there. And started having this conversation. Let me. Feel like I had this issue last time.
Oh, for like bringing up the picture or the information?
Yeah, like,
Yeah, it did happen last time too.
why aren't you labeled by your name?
Tumble something.
Tumblestrum.
Tumblestrom. Oh, that makes sense because they have the loot. I keep wanting to say tumble britches, and I know that's not it at all.
That would be a whole
What a
different
fancy name, though.
fancy person. Well, anyways, we'll get the conversation started and I'll keep looking. But
All right.
yeah, you saw them. They were um just kind of hanging out in the back end of this wagon,
Mhm.
and she was tuning her instrument. She was starting to kind of chat with you a little bit. I think the last thing that basically she said to you was, "Well, you may not know me, but I sure know you. My lute strings told me all about you, Lim."
That's right. And she mentioned that she was the individual who bought the tickets for our group. Not just me, but the group, right?
Yeah, that's right. I know all about all your friends.
Um so how?
Well, my
You
lute here tells me all sorts of things, all sorts of little secrets about you all. and I know that you came here looking for your lost things, so I thought it might be my little bit of a kindness to maybe buy you a ticket so you didn't lose your things again.
That I appreciate that. Um, did you know us, or the the loot? Did the loot know us last time, or did you know us last time, or?
Mm, well, I didn't know about last time. I only recently came here. Um, I see I've been all over. I travel the plains.
Oh,
This here carnival's a convenient way to do so.
I suppose that's true.
Travels to all sorts of different worlds. It's a mighty fine way to get around.
Hmm. I imagine, yeah. Who's your little frogmander friend?
Oh, his name is well, I ain't giving him a name yet.
Oh,
Maybe someone in the chat wants to redeem a little something to give him a name.
Lim will kind of reach over to her staff, and I don't think I described the staff before. It's like it's like the size of like an adult staff, so it's fairly tall. But her being 2 foot, it's like like way like taller than her. Like it's stupidly taller than her. So she kind of like brings it down, and there's like a little hummingbird statue at the top of it. She takes the hummingbird statue and twists it a few times, and pops it off, and then it ends up looking like an actual hummingbird. It's her familiar. So to get her familiar out of like that familiar space, she just twists the top off and then whoop. So she's gonna let her little hummingbird go over and like check out the frog dude. This is Teak. This is Teak. He's my little traveling companion.
Well, that's good to have traveling companions. It can get lonely, don't matter what kind of road you're on. You need to have friends.
And yeah, that so I guess so yeah. My current friends here, we never like. I guess we're more like acquaintances because we never really like talked a whole lot, but like we know of each other.
Oh,
So, but like, how do you like know all of us? Like, how'd you know we would all be in like the same group?
well, because you all have a bond. You all lost something. That's what brought you together. You may not be friends yet, but, in the Feywild, which is where you're gonna go, time time is very fluid. Doesn't work quite the same as it does here. So as far as I can tell, y'all are friends already.
Huh. And I don't know if you answered this already or if not. Did you say that it was the instrument that knows this, or like Lim is clearly like she's like trying to understand these pieces and like put them together, and it's like not quite like sticking.
She says the instrument knows you. At least it
Hmm.
knows enough about you to direct me to you.
Is Would there be anything that I could roll to see if I recognize it from like
The
my
instrument?
last visit? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Just give me just a straight intelligence check.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds. Straight intelligence. Boop. It's the first time ever I have a character that's good with intelligence. Never mind. that was a 6.
Okay.
Did it show up?
It
Or
didn't
no?
show up, but
Oh,
I
that's weird.
believe you.
Okay.
So you don't really recognize it. It looks well crafted.
Mhm.
It's definitely got kind of this woodland kind of pattern kind of carved in it.
Folksy.
Very folksy. Um, and she says, "Your lost things, they were here, but now they're not. I think if you're looking for them, you'll find that they've made their way already to the realm of Prismere."
Prismere? I'm sorry,
It's
I'll ask that in character. What is Prismere?
it's it's a domain of the Feywild. There are many like it, but this one is unique. It's not where all lost things that have come to disappear out of memory go, but it is where your lost things have passed on. Many things that have passed through this carnival have ended up in Prismere.
Hmm.
But Mr. Witch and Mr. Light are very reluctant to have anything to do with that realm.
Hmm.
But it isn't just your lost things that have gone missing.
Oh?
The realm has lost the Archfey that rules it. An Archfey named Zybilna.
The
And as she says that name,
bills. Nah.
Zybilna,
Oh, it's the
and
bill. No.
she
Okay.
says it, and it like kind of clicks in your brain, and suddenly you're whisked away to like this memory that
Okay.
it's hard to say. Is it a memory? Is it a dream? But there's something's going on in your brain that is making a connection with this person. She didn't say anything about describing her or giving you anything more than that name, and suddenly you have this vision of this woman with white hair, small tattoo shaped like a chicken's foot below one of her eyes, and she's sitting in a rocking chair near a bed, near your bed that you were in when you were a little child. There was a strange sickness that you suddenly remember acquiring after you ran through this strange wood near your home. You kind of got lost in this wood, this thicket, and there are things about that you don't really remember. But suddenly, this name Zybilna comes up, and you remember you got really sick. You were lost, and then you were sick, and you found your way in this bed. It's not really your bed, it's someone
Mhm.
else's, but this is where you were cared for, and this woman is here. At least you think it was her. The details are a little foggy. But you remember a song, and as you're remembering this memory, you see this woman and she is singing. She's singing the soothing lullaby that floods your consciousness, and you remember it. You want to remember it. It makes you feel good listening to it. You're having a hard time distinguishing. Is this a thing that really happened? Is this a
Mhm.
dream? Is this Did you eat some kind of pie at the carnival that's making you see things? You're not sure. But oh, this is a warm feeling, and the endorphins are releasing, and you're pondering this vision, but then suddenly you feel as if you're not actually in this scene, looking at it as a memory, but you're more of like a spectator on the scene. And suddenly, um, it kind of like I don't know. It's like the weird part of an M. Night Shyamalan movie or something. There's like a this this tragic twist, and the really nice scene is no longer so nice as
Mhm.
sort of pans out a bit, and you're looking at the woman.
Like there's like that detail that's like, oh, that's nice, and then you see that like that one detail that suddenly shifts everything.
Yeah, Yeah, absolutely. And the detail that you're noticing is that woman, she's sort of mechanical looking. Like she's got bolts in her knees and in her arms, and her skin isn't really skin, but it's kind of got like more of like a wood grain quality to it. And there are little strings that are sort of attached to her arms and her legs and whatnot. And the um, person in the bed, you're kind of thinking that was you, right? But you're
Mhm.
looking at it, and it is this weird little effigy doll that's composed of hair that is sitting there. It's this sort of a kind of gruesome thing. Um, I'm sorry, one second.
It's the doll.
All right, and as it's sort of like panning out, um, you notice that you're looking at sort of like it almost seems like a little stage. And as the scene continues to pan out, the stage looks as if it's within the folds of this woman's dress. And you look up at the face of the woman, and is this old crone with withered skin, straw-like white hair, and I'll give you the image here in just one second, because it's sort of
Sure.
very interesting sort of look.
Ooh. I can't wait. I like my cool art. Casey, it's hags. I bet it's hags.
Yeah, you weren't gonna have a Fey adventure without hags, right?
Heck yeah. That's why I ended up picking up that hexblood thing. I'm like, oh well, it's Fae. There's got to be hags, right?
Here you go. Sorry, they did a terrible job in Fantasy Grounds of naming these images,
Whoa.
but that is what you see. And
She is wild looking.
and as soon as like you are able to see her face and the hair and whatnot, at that point, like you suddenly wake up and uh, Tumblestrum is not there, but Maple is kind of like looking at you, has just arrived on the scene, and you're probably maybe a little jolted into consciousness as you're back at the carnival.
Okay.
You okay?
Huh.
I saw you heading for the clouds. I thought you were leaving. I'm glad you're still here.
I popped the bubble. Teak. It's a good call for her little hummingbird friend, and then kind of put him like back on top of the staff, give a little twist, and then he looks like a little wooden statue again. She's gonna kind of be like rubbing her eyes and looking around. She notices like Maple's there, but she's also kind of like, like when you wake someone, like when you're like you wake someone up from like the deep sleep, and they're just kind of like, just kind of figuring things out.
I'll just wait till you're ready.
Did you see the lady with the lute and a white frog salamander?
No. Doesn't mean you didn't see it, but I didn't see it.
Oh, probably more important thing I should tell you. She told me where to find our stuff.
You get her undivided attention.
Oh, you're close.
Sorry.
It's okay. Your hair is really pretty, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. So she was saying that her instrument told her where to, and she's gonna basically like give like the full details of like the lute told her things, or she figured things out, and drop the name Sorry, I wrote it in notes.
Prismere?
Prismere, thank you. Yeah, that the things are in Prismere, and that's apparently where a lot of lost things go.
After you're done explaining it, you can tell that Maple got about a third of it.
She's gonna just kind of like stare, like kind of like just the long like, you know what?
So
We should get everyone together.
that's what I wanted to do. We're on the same
Okay.
page. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's go.
Then we can go to Prismere.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do it. Okay, let's go. And they mentioned something about witch and light, but and then she's gonna like go off and like kind of just ramble more about.
Everybody went in completely different directions. Like where we are, they're on the opposite side of the carnival.
Oh my God.
We'll find. I mean, we'll probably find them. Hopefully.
She's gonna be like jogging to keep up, like her little feet.
If I have any idea where I think they went, Alex, I'll try to go that way.
Same.
Yeah, you probably the place that you would think that they had gone would be the snail racing.
Okay.
So you start to head out that way. We will. Yeah, we'll stick with the two of you for a second here. So you start to make your way over this way. And you make your way to where the snail racing is happening. And so you can just see there are grandstands on the either side of what is this racetrack for the snails. They're not currently competing. There are 8 giant snails that are kind of hanging out there. You can see that there are a number of attendants that are kind of like cleaning them up, shining them up, and among them is a Herongon who's carrying around these 2 big iron buckets. It seems like is kind of reaching in with a big hand and kind of pulling out this like kind of algae looking sewage vegetation. It's all soggy and wet, kind of throwing it down, and the giant snails seem to like that quite a bit and kind of mop that up. Yeah, no sign of your friends there.
Excuse me. And I try to float over to the Haragon with the 2 buckets.
While she's
Excuse
doing
me?
that, I'll be like waving around the staff, trying to get attention.
Oh, hi! How can I help you?
Hi, did you see my 2 friends? They look like, and I try to explain. I realize Arrow's like a bunny rabbit with a hoodie, but I don't remember what Vish looks like personally. But I think Maple would remember. So she tries to explain them both. They're in detail.
Oh,
what they
yeah.
both look like.
Vish, guy keeps talking about his tools. He misplaced his tools.
That's the one.
Yep. And, oh yeah, they were just here. Oh boy, that Vish, he's a great snail racer. He won the last one.
Did you hear that?
Awesome.
Vish won the last snail
less
race.
impressive than I remember. But they
You know where they
headed
went?
off that way. They were gonna go talk to Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.
Oh, perfect. We needed to talk to him too. Thank you.
Awesome.
What's your name?
Oh, my name's Lise.
Lise. Thank you, Lise. I am Lim Green.
Oh, hi, Lim. Nice to meet you.
I'm
sorry.
Maple, and I'm
You're
already
Maple?
gone. Like I'm float.
Okay, goodbye.
I'm like looking between Maple and her, and I just kind of give like this goodbye, and then I go fall.
As you're kind of heading up this way, you both also are sort of heading right past the Hall of Illusions. What you see, so like before you approach there, you know, you can see that the tent. I didn't really describe this for the others, but like the top of the tent is sort of this mural of shifting images that show grinning fairies that are, it's sort of animated. There's little fairies that are kind of flying about, acrobatics happening, and all that kind of stuff. So the stripes of the tent are rotating and spiraling out and creating these images. Right in front of the tent, pretty close over here, you can see that there's a male and a female halfling. They both have kind of their faces painted. His is like a big butterfly on his face, and she's got sort of a almost like kind of like a fairy dragon looking kind of face that she's got painted on, and they're holding hands and talking. They're smiling. Um, and at some point, as he's walking, it looks like they're kind of like walking past this area, and the halfling uh, gets down on his knee, and you can see him reach into his pocket, and he pulls out a ring. And as she looks down at it, you just see her. And she just starts laughing, and he bursts out laughing, and you see him, his face, his butterfly painted face is just his bottom lip goes out, and like tears are just streaming down, like washing off this makeup. And she just like falls onto the ground laughing, and he starts bawling, and he runs up the stairs and into the tent, right past this
No.
sort of
Oh.
bleached out man with the fairy wings who's like
Uh-huh.
trying to you can see this man, he's like yelling, he's trying to shout at this halfling who just ran into the tent without getting his ticket punched, and he just kind of throws his arms up in the air and crosses them. And
So question, because I think I have this in like my spell list. Was that ye old Tasha's hideous laughter?
yeah, you identify it almost immediately, the effect. Make an arcana check though.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Hopefully it shows up. Okay, there it is.
So you notice that it seemed like they stopped right in front of this glass cabinet, and you think that the magic is emanating from the statuette inside the cabinet. And of course, as soon as you draw that conclusion, you're able to kind of squint. You're some distance away. You're able to squint and see what the sign above the cabinet says, which is Tasha the Wizard, known for her hideous laughter.
Gotcha. Aw, poor guy.
I mean, it was a little funny.
I mean, it was funny from like an outsider perspective, but oh, that poor guy put his heart out to to her.
She's so mean.
Is she still laughing?
Yeah, she's still rolling around on the ground laughing.
Lim is gonna like kind of like jog over, and she's gonna try to like grab her ankles and pull her away from the box.
Okay.
Excuse me, that was a little mean.
And she's still cackling
It's
and
magic.
laughing. You drag her away, Lim.
Oh.
And maybe this goes on for like a minute or so.
Mhm.
And then like as you've pulled her away, she starts to kind of calm down, and she says, "Oh," and then like her face is like horrified as she like the spell effect goes off, and she says, "Where did he go? Where did he go? He went
Yeah, I was
inside."
wondering the same
And
thing.
she points
To
to the
the
Hall of Illusions.
Hall of Illusions. Yeah. Yeah, if you need someone to kind of like vouch for you, we're going to we'll be around. We'll be around. Then she's like, okay, let's go.
Is he gonna be okay in there?
I don't know.
Illusions can be dangerous.
Oh, that's true. Will you guys be okay in there?
My brother taught me.
She says he had the tickets.
Oh,
We gotta
shoot.
get him.
Oh, should we get everyone else first? Because I think
There's no time.
But it's the Hall of Illusions. He'll probably get a little lost in there. Let's get everyone else first.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's run. We'll be right
So
back, Miss.
we'll be right back.
Miss Butterfly. We'll be right back.
Sounds
We'll get
good.
helpers.
So she just kind of loiters around out there. It seems like she got kind of no choice. She doesn't have the ticket that allow her to get in. So you all kind of head over to like where the staff area is, and At this point, I think I'm going to check in then with Shion. And Shion, there's a little bit of an incident that breaks out here at the feasting orchard while you're enjoying the pie and the music and whatnot. But you hear someone kind of give a shrill scream, and they drop one of their pies. It's one of the halflings that was in the pie eating contest earlier. Drops their pie and is just like pointing a finger at it, trembling. And other people start looking at it, and you notice that they start like vomiting. And people are getting real sick, and like there's like this kind of like sympathetic vomiting thing that is going on throughout the feasting orchard.
I'll go see if they're okay.
So you head over there, and it's not. It's just like everyone's kind of like sick to their stomach. Some people are like trying to like gag themselves and like forcibly try to vomit.
Do I feel okay?
You feel okay, yeah.
Okay. Are you okay? What happened?
Maggots. There's maggots in the pies.
Ugh. I look at my pie.
Your pie. It looks fine. But you look down at the one that they just dropped, and it does look like it is crawling with like worms that are just like kind of poking up through the crust, writhing.
Ugh. Quit eating it for sure. We'll have to find some way to help. Is there like a poison check or like a healing check or something that I can do to see if I know how I can help?
So probably, I mean, probably like some of the people have the right idea, just like gag it up if it's really so sick. Like,
Find it out? Yeah, okay.
you know, um, you see like the halfling, like the guy that like oversaw the contest earlier is like, no, 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 folks, the pies are okay. It's just I don't know how could this happen?
No, sir, the pies are definitely not okay. My pie seems okay. Ish.
And he's just kind of looking around, and he's like, what? And he goes down to that pie where like the maggots are, and he starts like he picks it up, and like you see him like try to grab at these maggots, and like there's nothing there. Like his hand just passes through him. It's an illusion. Everybody, the pies are fine. Just keep eating. Oh my God! Don't puke over, please. Please, head to the exit. Go. There's garbage pails. Keep it out of here. This is. Oh gosh. Oh, what a mess.
It's definitely a mess. I'll head out of the area.
You start to head out of the area. It's just like chaos happening, back in the feasting
The
orchard.
mass exodus. Yep.
Where would you like to head?
I'm thinking towards Carousel.
Okay, you make your way over to the carousel, and you can see there's a procession of wooden unicorns that stand motionless on a circular wooden platform. There are fair-goers that are clambering onto the unicorns' backs, and there's a female centaur that is setting the ride in motion. She's also seems to be the person that's like punching tickets as the kids kind of clamber on. Um, the unicorns, they almost seem sort of lifelike. They shake their manes, they creak to life, and they canter around the carousel to the delight of the kids that are riding them. Um, Here's a picture of the centaur who seems to be operating the ride.
Okay. Oh, why not? I'll go ahead and hop on the next round. That
All
seems
right.
like good thing to do after eating a pie.
Yeah. You'll be joining all of those folks that thought they were eating the maggots.
Yeah.
So, You go up to her and she says, "Ticket, please."
I hand it to her.
She punches it and she says, "Okay. Ride is for 90 seconds. Please enjoy."
Thanks. I'll hop on a unicorn. I'm still holding my wings because I don't see any reason to put them on.
As you go to one of the unicorns, they're all in like pairs around
Right?
like the perimeter of the carousel, and the pair that you go to, you can see that they all have like a name tag on their bridle,
Right.
sort of painted. Seems like with their name. The pair where you're at, it says you see that one seems to be named Fortune, but then the other is just B painted there, but it looks like the paint maybe is worn off or something. Unless,
Hmm.
I mean, I guess it could be that this unicorn's name is just B, but
All right. Can I stand between them? Do I need to get on one?
she instructs you to get on whatever one you would want.
All right, I'll get on B.
Okay. Um, and then they come to life, and they start kind of moving in this circular fashion. And the one that you are riding just kind of looks up at you and says, "Hey there,
So
what's your name?"
I'm Shion. What does B stand for?
Oh, can you guess?
Best.
No. Like 30
Um,
seconds pass as you're riding.
Berry.
No.
Um, hmm.
Yo, his name is Fortune.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure.
And you can feel like the carousel is starting to kind of wind down, like it's starting to slow down, and he says, "Oh, one more chance?"
Um, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you didn't guess my name. That makes me sad. My name is Bold.
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 Okay.
Fortune favors me. Get it?
Nice. Okay.
And then like the ride stops, and then the centaur is just like, all right, guys, stop hamming it up, okay? No, telling everybody your names. I'll get you painted here soon enough, all right?
Nice. I disembarked.
So she kind of shows you back out to the main fairway, where you could make your way to wherever you'd like to go next. But probably at this point, you're realizing that a lot of people, it seems like the crowd is all pushing towards the middle of the festival, to where the
Towards
big
the big
top,
top.
towards the big top. It must be
I head
time.
towards the big top because they said we were going to meet there at one point, so that's fine.
All right. How about the others of you? I would say those. So I guess I'll set it up like this. Vish and Arlo, as you head over to the staff area, you see like the trees and the bushes and everything, these kind of this thorny overgrowth that seems to encapsulate that area where I think Arlo, you would know that this is sort of their way of kind of guarding their private wagons. If you are a current employee of the carnival, you can just go up to the hedge and it'll apart for you. Otherwise, it kind of creates this barrier would be quite painful to kind of get through. But as you get close to the area, it does like widen up and open up for somebody that is approaching from the other side, and um, you see this bugbear step out. Um, he's wearing dungarees, and he's got this big pumpkin on his head, and he's making his way out the hedge. And I don't know, Vish, Arlo, there's no reason you were kind of like snooping up to this place, right? Or you kind of were just
I
plainly
think we-
approaching?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So he spots you and he says, "Hey, Arlo, is that you?
Yes.
Oh, I hardly recognize you.
I
How
know
you
it's
been?"
just- I've been okay. It's been, 8 years, so I probably look a little different. You still look burly.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty funny there, Arlo. You think that I haven't heard that one. Hey, but speaking of my name, I love to sit and chat, but I gotta go do the old burly routine over at the big
Mhm.
top. Are you heading over there?
We are gonna be meeting some people over there eventually, but hey, you don't happen to know what would have happened to my stuff when I didn't show up again 8 years ago? I was talking to Lise, and she said maybe you would know. If not
Oh,
you, then maybe Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.
well, I don't know. I think Mr. Witch and Mr. Life sold that off or gave that off to someone. I don't really remember the details of that, but I don't
Okay.
think your stuff is here anymore. Say, I'm real sorry. I'm the first act, so I gotta run. We'll catch up after, okay?
Okay, bye.
And he starts to kind of hustle his way, his big frame kind of carrying him as he makes his way over to the big top.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Did he just say they sold it?
They might have sold my stuff, I think he said. Yeah.
That's,
That
oh. Oh. I'm
makes
sorry.
me very sad.
I'm sorry.
It's
I
not your
was thinking
fault,
about all my
Fish.
stuff the whole time. I didn't even think about you. Oh, come
But you
here.
know what?
Go check you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Arlo.
Okay, we might still find everybody else's stuff though. Because all of that stuff maybe got lost differently.
Yeah.
That's-
Where's your stuff? Your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it they actually looking for anyway?
It's like a little coffin, and it's got
Oh,
like the
that's
ashes.
nice. Oh,
Yeah, it's got the
ashes.
ashes of my dead son in it.
Oh.
But let's go to the big top and watch the show.
Oh.
Cause
Um.
yeah, cause then maybe we can ask maybe Mr. Light or Mr. Witch will remember who they sold my stuff to, and we can
She's
go.
just gonna stare and not know what to say, and just stare at you. Go,
Arlo. Normally, you're the one telling me the wise things about this, but I really can't think of. I guess I'm just real sorry. We'll get it back. I promise.
Thanks, Fish. Let's see
Yep.
if we can catch up with the others. Maybe they had some luck.
So, you all sort of at the same time make your way to the big top. You make your way to the big tent, where wooden panels on the tent whirl with colorful motion, displaying vibrant circus performances. The sound of music and laughter is drifting out of the canvas doors, where a big crowd of folk are kind of pushing their way forward, trying to get their way in, getting their tickets punched to enter.
And we can all kind of like, as like everyone's kind of congregating, we can kind of like point each other out. Or not.
Yeah, yeah. You see all each other and like come together as one and kind of meet up and share, trade notes of what has it been like for you the past 2 hours or so.
So I think we should totally help these two halflings with a proposal because they ended up standing in front of an enchanted laughter box. But also I met someone who told us where she knows where our stuff is.
Oh, excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Good work, Lim.
I swear, is it?
She said that it is in the a domain of Prismere, somewhere in the Feywild, and she said that we will go to the Feywild. I don't know how she knows this, but I mean, if our stuff's there, then yeah, I guess we are. I don't know how, but maybe Witch and Light know.
Yeah.
But
She
also,
didn't-
oh yeah, sorry.
So she didn't mention anything about a Kenku, because we met
Mm,
we met like a mime or something that had its voice, lost its voice to that Kenku that we
Mm.
saw popping bubbles before.
Oh, I think I know the one you're talking about. He was trying to stop a guy who was going and crying after his lady left after the proposal. So I know you were talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't hear any mentions of a Kenku.
Okay.
And this person, they're just gone.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I had like a vision. They said this name that kind of did a weird thing to me, and Maple found me. Yeah, I was being weird afterwards. Like I had like a thing happen.
You're okay.
Are you sure you saw this?
Yeah. I'm gonna twist Teak off the top of my. I'm gonna like toss him into the air, and he's gonna be like, ah! like he wasn't expecting to be like tossed off so like frantically. Like Teak, tell him. I saw a lady. She had a white frog, and she's gonna try to like get her familiar to like try to like nod his little head, and be like, oh yeah, like this totally happened. Or at least she's gonna try. I don't know if it will, but she's certainly gonna
Yeah.
try.
What about
Hey.
sad proposal guy?
Teak was in sleep mode. She's gonna take it back and twist, put it back on the the staff. Sad proposal guy. They were in front of the box that talks about Tasha's hideous laughter, and I could do the same thing, but I guess the box like has like a thing that it does to like people who are near it. Because this lady was standing
Oh.
near it, like at the same time as she was being proposed to,
Broke
and
up
she
laughing
started
during the proposal. It was
and she-
hilariously horrible.
yeah, it was pretty bad, but the guy looked really
Oh.
sad, and my heart goes out to him. So I think we should probably go help him.
And then he ran into the Hall of Illusions. It could be dangerous.
Yes, and he also has the lady's tickets. So she, if she doesn't have her ticket, what if she loses something too, and she ends up like us?
Yeah, that can't happen.
Yeah, and also we have to find that because not only did we, I mean, I know I talk a lot about my stuff, but Arlo, he lost his a coffin with ashes in it, and
Oh,
we
Hmm.
Lim is gonna waddle over and give him a big ol' hug, like her little arms stretching out past her, like all her like hair that's just in front of her face. It just goes whoop whoop, just hugs.
Maybe they're all together in this Prismamere place. Mr. Light and Mr. Witch should
yeah.
know.
Arlo,
No, wait.
she said that the lady with the white frog said that all our stuff is in Prismere, so we could probably still find your thing.
Okay.
Well, I think we might really need to talk to this Mr. Witch and Mr. Light because that sold it.
Oh snap! Wait,
Yes, but
wait.
maybe.
Someone sold your coffin of
they s-
ashes.
Well, they sold all my stuff. And that will, because when you work at the carnival, you have
Okay,
your stuff in
It
a
was
spot.
a little coffin. You
It was
said?
just a little like.
Like you lose like a little pet rat.
No, it was a child.
That's the.
But I don't have all the ashes, just some of them, not all of them.
Oh,
So
that's
anyway,
still sad.
Yeah,
It
that's still
is.
pretty sad.
But maybe it disappeared before they sold all my stuff. If all your stuff disappeared.
Maybe it's all in the same place.
So this
Prismere.
person, you said, did you mention that that's the person who said she bought our tickets or whatever?
I don't know if I said it, but Lim would try to get that point across sometime.
Okay.
And
So
she would
if-
share that the name was Eliwick Tumblestrom in case Arlo recognizes it.
I like cool names.
I
So
wrote
yeah.
it down this time.
So maybe if she bought all 5 of our tickets, then maybe all our stuff is together. But you're right, Vish. We should talk to Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. Because
They're
We help
explaining
said
to
proposal guy first.
um
Are we not
I
doing
mean,
that?
sad proposal guy. Yeah, I mean, I
are
guess
are we
could-
being swept to the big top, or would the characters have time to visit sad proposal? Guy?
You're not being swept. It's just that's where everyone else is going.
Hmm.
I suppose we should save or help sad proposal guy.
My
A
I'm
woman who
I
doesn't
hope
have a
that-
ticket is going to be in all sorts of trouble if she doesn't get her ticket back.
Did you say you saw the Kenku over there too?
uh
I instantly
we-
start looking around for the Kinku.
Because we sort of said that we would help voice loss guy get his, we'd try to find the Kenku as we looked for our stuff so we could find the voice for voice
Right.
loss guy.
So as I'm
Did-
standing around and listening to this, do I recognize Prismere at all?
Make a, I don't know, make a Arcana check.
Arcana? Okay.
Yeah.
Roll high.
Okay, hold on, my character sheet disappeared.
what was I thinking while she's doing that? Lim would explain that her main concern with the proposal people is that if the lady doesn't have her ticket,
She's going to be in trouble.
well, but what if what happened to us where we all lost a thing, but not just a thing, but
Yeah. Bad
some
things happen to
weird
people
thing.
that don't have tickets.
yeah. So I don't want something bad to happen.
Exactly.
She's been through enough. She botched her proposal, so
So while you're all thinking about some things here, you were bought 2 rerolls. Each of you 2 rerolls from the chat.
Oh. Thank you very
Wait,
much.
you.
you said a straight in check.
2 each?
2
So we're up
each.
to 3.
yeah.
You're up to whatever you had.
All
I
You
got
can use
right.
it.
I'm up
3.
to
I need
3.
I need to start using them.
And so that Arcana check comes in at a 13. Are you sticking with the
That wasn't
13?
Arcana, that was intelligence. You said roll intelligence. You wanted Arcana. Hold
Oh,
on.
that was Arcana check from Lim Green. Yeah,
I've been-
Arcana check.
All right. Here we go. 23.
23. Okay. Just so you know, I don't think they're coming through, but 23, you have heard of Prismere, and you know that it is one of many domains of delight that belong in the
Maids,
Feywild. And you know that Prismere is ruled by an archfey known as Zybilna.
Dots have
Volcan.
been connected.
You also probably know that she's a very powerful archfey. She has many allies, both fey and has been known to deal with devils and demons and such as well.
So she dabbles in dark arts. Is what
Yeah, I think so. I think
Alright.
that would be a fair thing to say.
you're saying. Okay.
Or at least is comfortable enough with them, so maybe is kind of sort of in a gray kind of gray alignment a little bit.
Right. I relay that information.
Sorry, you said she lets us know that information?
Yeah, I relay that information.
Oh, okay. I wonder what she has a need for stuff. Just random people stuffs. Or maybe if she's kind of in that gray zone, maybe she gets delight. See what I did there? Delight in people having not a great time, but in like not a totally dangerous way. Like,
Oh, I hope not.
yeah, like I lost like a doll, but like afterwards I kind of shrunk. So maybe she gets delight in my tiny temper tantrums.
As you're talking about all of this, you notice that some of the lights and whatnot kind of start to like flicker a bit, and something happens in a scene that maybe I'll share at the end of the session if it doesn't come up. Something just happened that has made the carnival a little depressed, a little sad. Something not good just happened.
The proposal.
Oh no,
That feels
the thing
that
went
feels
to the
off.
left.
It's kind of like when that kid fell off the dragonfly. Things
Yeah.
kind of went weird then too.
Think we're too late.
You're still all outside, but you kind of hear like most of the crowd has already entered the big top at this point, and you can hear kind of some of what's happening in there. There's sort of a hush, like all the chatter and the noise from within there kind of dims down a bit, and you hear a voice say, "Welcome, one and all, to this evening's extravaganza! I am Mr. Light! Prepare to be delighted!" And then there's like some music that is playing, and you hear him say, "The one and only Burly the Bugbear, ladies and gentlemen! More strength than a pack of unicorns!
Come on, guys.
Let us prove it to you!"
Yeah, we should probably. Yeah, she's gonna run in with Maple.
Yep.
Okay.
I've seen the Burly Act before. It's pretty good.
So you all run past the attendant there who will check you for your ticket and punch it as you enter into the big top. Most of the seats here have been kind of filled, so you're kind of left with having to climb past a bunch of people to get it either up to the kind of the real back bleacher seats, or you can kind of just stand in the underneath the seating area and look out that way. But as you're kind of getting settled and seeing things, you see Burly the Bugbear. He's got a big old rope tethered around his barrel of a chest, and there's like three unicorns that are all tethered to this, and they're kind of trying to stampede forward, and Burly, he just holds tight and he's able to kind of hold them back, and he starts to like swivel his hips back, and he starts actually moving towards where you can see there's this little wooden frame, almost like a like a
Well,
lamppost that has a little bell on it, and he's moving and he's pulling and dragging those unicorns back with him, and he makes it all the way over to the bell and like hits it, and it goes ding, and you can see that the man who is presumably Mr. Light is this clownish-looking figure, all painted up, wearing a very colorful kind of onesie suit, and in his hands he has this sort of um, very ornate-looking scepter that's sort of shaped like a dragonfly and composed of gold and ruby, and he's sort of swinging that around, and he seems like he's kind of like almost like kind of waving it around towards the crowd. Um, and people are cheering, and they're just loving this performance that Burley the bugbear is giving them. And he says, "Okay, all right. Well, he did quite well with that, but let's see how if he's got the guts for this next feat."
I bet he
And as
does.
he, oh, go ahead.
No, Mabel just says, I bet he does.
Um, and you can see that there are these like goblins that are wheeling out this cannon that is resting on sort of this little wooden makeshift cart. Um, and one of them has this little sparkler wand in hand, and he brings it down onto the fuse of this cannon, and then almost immediately kind of goes belly flop down and dives out of the way as the boom happens. And what protrudes out of the cannon, hurling itself in the direction of Burley, is this halfling that is just spinning. But the halfling, as he's getting projected out of the cannon, kind of like straightens himself out and does a few like acrobatics, like he does a 480 mid-air, and then manages to like elongate his body out, almost like a missile. Just he's totally planking it as he dives towards Burley, and like Burley just gets real low, and the guy like hits right into his belly, and Burley doesn't move an inch as the halfling sort of bounces off of him and then ducks himself into a somersault and tumbles away, and the crowd goes crazy for that. And they're like, "Yay!" And they're like, "Give it up to Burley!" And there's a little bit of a pause. There's applause happening, and it seems like some jugglers and whatnot come out to kind of little sideshow to kind of cool down the crowd before the next big thing.
Do I recognize any of those people from earlier at the pie eating contest?
If you're looking around, I'm sure you're gonna pick out a few of them. Like pretty much, like this is just about everybody in the at the carnival has come to this event.
Oh, I'm sorry, I meant the performers. Do the performers look familiar?
Oh, probably not the performers.
Okay.
All of the folks that you see that are from the pie eating contest, like even um, the fretful halfling that was presiding over that, he's actually sitting in the crowd, kind of watching.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and then as things are kind of getting reset a little bit, you see that there's like this globe, or like almost looks like a tank of water that is being brought out. And inside is a mermaid, and the crowd gets kind of fixated on her, and it gets real quiet, like silent. And then she starts to sing a bit, like this song. It's very melodic, sort of has a little bit of a heaviness to it. Let me see if I've got maybe an image for you of this character. Um, but yeah, so she's singing, and the crowd is like hanging on every word. And as she's doing this, like the water from the globe um, starts to kind of elongate out of the globe, and it starts to form itself into different shapes and almost like water-like sculptures on the air that sort of complement her words. And the
Can
crowd
I roll
is
some Arcana to see if that's
entranced.
a magical effect?
I'm sorry.
Can I roll Arcana to see if that's a magical effect?
Sure. Yeah, give me an Arcana check.
Yeah.
And 12, you think so, although you're I'm trying to think with a 12 how much you would know. You know it's a magical effect. You're just not exactly sure what is causing it, whether it's a spell or it's the water itself or some object that maybe she's using.
Okay.
But it's very precise, the little sculptures and whatnot that she is creating with that. And then
As I
go
notice
ahead.
that Shayun's like really paying attention to that, I look over to her and go, Burley was so much better. This is kind of boring.
And almost like there's like someone that maybe agrees with you because suddenly you just hear someone kind of shout, "Wow, this music is terrible! It's like nails on a chalkboard!"
It's not that bad.
And then like everyone is kind of like hushed a bit and like looking around, and you could see like her eyes like are darting around in like this dejection, like lack of confidence on her face as she continues to try to like put the song forward. And then you hear like a second jeer coming from the crowd. What is this? What is this magic? These bubbles, these sculptures. A child in a sandbox could do better. They're hideous, awful. Boo!
I know we're gonna try not to fight, but can I go beat?
Hey.
I'm sorry.
This is gonna stand up while you go.
Hey! Just doing the best you can. It's beautiful.
And like people are
there's no
still
Burley.
like kind of looking around, trying to figure out like where this is coming from. And then like it happens again. Like, get off the stage! You're trash! Boo!
Oh.
I'm trying to figure out which direction it's. Can I pick anybody
Yeah.
out that's saying it?
Make a
I'd like to
perception check. Anyone who wants to kind of look around.
give advantage to whoever's doing that because I'm also looking.
You
I'm gonna
you could just.
re-roll that.
I'm not gonna do like help checks on
okay.
perception. Like you could roll your own perception if you like, though.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna re-roll my perception one too. Since I have a bunch of re-rolls. There we go. Oh, 18.
Okay, Arlo, you see someone that's kind of familiar to you. Someone that
Is it the
that
Kenko?
monochromatic
Oh.
mime guy from earlier is over like kind of by the exit, like like right behind the bleacher, kind of like shouting out.
I thought he
Huh.
lost his voice. I'm gonna go beat the crap. No, sorry. I'm
Do
really
it.
angry.
Do
I'm
it.
really angry right now.
Do it.
Sorry. I need.
Very disrespectful.
I admit it
Um,
wasn't that good, but you don't have to be so mean about it.
Yeah, I want to walk over by the guy. Be like, hey, what's your problem, bub?
And you walk over to him, and
Yo.
as soon as you confront him, he says, "I gotta go." And
How'd you
he
get your
starts
voice?
starts
ahead.
like running out the tent. What do you do?
I don't
Do
know.
it.
I'm too
Don't
old
be-
to chase after people.
At this point,
Said I'm too
would
old to chase it.
would Lim have like seen them kind of like focusing on like this area, like to the dude?
Yeah. As soon as like one of you kind of pointed out, and you watched Arlo kind of dart over there, it would become obvious.
I'm gonna break off one of the mushrooms that are that's growing out of my broken horn. I'm gonna untwist Teak. Gonna try to hand him the mushroom, and I'm gonna send him to follow the mime.
I'll
Oh,
peek out
if-
the.
The hummingbird is following.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah, I'm
can
giving
see
him-
through
yeah.
its eyes as it's.
I gave
Okay.
him just in case because I don't remember how far the familiar thing goes. When I break off like one of the mushrooms, I can use my eerie token, which basically is like it's the same. Like you can look through it and like hear through it.
Okay.
So I gave that to Teak because I don't remember how far the familiar thing is. I was like, here.
It's quite far, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, your hummingbird darts out the tent flap there and out into the night sky.
Mhm.
The rest of you maybe notice like um, the mermaid is just wailing and crying, and she's just saying, "How can he say this? How could Kendall? He loved me, and now he just wants to embarrass me. What did I do?" And there's just like some of the like attendants or whatever over there. They're kind of like taking her away. She's just like kind of belligerent at this point. Mr. Light comes back out, and he's like, sorry about that, folks. Oh man, it wouldn't be a show without a little bit of a hiccup, right? Oh, the show will go on." And he's just like kind of looking to the sidelines for a little bit of like backup, and you can see there's some different performers that like kind of make their way out into the middle of the audience hall, and there's some jugglers, there's some like fire breathers and whatnot that have come out. Just like some kind of like small acts a little bit that are doing their performances. What anything that Shion, Vish, Maple, anything the three of you are doing?
I would
Um,
like to head out and talk to the attendant.
The person that kind of punched tickets that allowed you to like get in here.
Yes,
Okay, so you kind of head
he's
out.
still there.
Where are you
Yeah.
going? Sean, where are you going?
Hold on, I'll be right back. I just
You
want
want
to
me to wait
see
here?
something.
Okay, I'll wait here.
Okay.
So you make your way to the entrance of the tent, and there is a dragonborn there. Who's sort of like as you get out there, like he's kind of like looking, um, just like far away, like down one of the roads or whatever. It looks like he was kind of maybe watching after that person that just darted out of the tent, and then the hummingbird came darting out.
Okay. Are you okay? Did you lose something? Are you looking for something? What happened?
Well, somebody just made a mad dash out of here.
I saw that. Hey, earlier, did you see the lights flicker by chance?
Oh, I'm sorry. Come again?
Earlier, did you see the lights flicker by chance?
Oh, yeah. They're kind of doing it again. You see, like they're sort of doing it again. The music is getting a little off kilter. The notes are souring a bit. He says, "Oh, people must not be having a good time. Is it someone really crashing in there or what?"
Yes, there was a mermaid singing a song, and someone decided to belittle her. And yes,
Oh, that was I swear that was Candlefoot that was running out here. Was it Candlefoot that was
yes, it was Candlefoot.
Oh my gosh. That is that is really rude.
Yes. What do you know about him?
Well,
He
him and
doesn't
he's
seem like
real
a nice person.
I mean, he is a nice person, and well, he lost his voice a bit ago. He was real sweet on the mermaid there, um, and they they were inseparable. In fact, I don't know if you got a good look at him. He's got kind of a weird thing going on with him. He's just very kind of plain monochromatic. He ain't got no any hue. His colors are all washed out. He's just
Yeah, he looks almost translucent.
yeah, kind of almost ghost-like. Well, when he was around her, when she was singing, all that went away. He'd get real flush in his clothes, get real bright greens, and um, little detail on his little outfit that he wears. It would get real flush. Um, yeah, but then I don't know. He went all around the carnival saying he was in love with her and he was gonna propose to her and this and that. And then he made a big to do, big scene about it. And then when it came right down to it, he just he just stood there, got down on one knee and just no voice. And that really hurt her. Um,
Well, he obviously has a voice now, and he heard her a lot. She's in there
Oh,
wailing.
he got his voice back?
Apparently.
Huh.
Does that happen frequently where someone loses something and then they find it again? Like that?
No. Usually the opposite. They just lose it and they don't get it back.
Interesting.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
that's
good
what I'm
though. I guess
thinking
it's good that
about.
he got his voice. Too bad he became a real jerk.
Yeah. Hopefully we can find him so he can tend to the mermaid, maybe. Or at least find out where he's going or what he's doing.
Yeah, I don't know. He went off that way and he kind of points sort of points in this direction.
And at that point, would I be able to kind of look through Teek's eyes to see if like he was able to like catch up with him or kind of figure out where
Yeah.
he's at?
Sure. Let me just check in real quick with oh, Vish, are you there? Anything you're doing?
She would try her best looking kind of at Maple to kind of see if we could get the crowd riled up to ask kind of for like an encore performance, trying to see if, and maybe look to Maple to kind of nudge her. That's not very, right, what do you think, Maple?
Burley or Palasha?
I know you really like Burley, but listen, we come on.
I do.
Yeah, I know.
You mean Palasha, don't you?
Yeah, sorry. Do you pretend at least? You think maybe we could?
I can do that. We should make
Okay.
her feel better.
Okay. And we're gonna try. I guess we might try our best to try to get.
Well, can we see
say,
her?
"We-"
Is the mermaid
No,
still around?
You know, she's sits left. She was sort of escorted to wherever the backstage kind of area is, and now you've got there's like a tiefling fire breather out who's when she's blowing this flame out, these little magma methods and smoke methods kind of start to kind of float and fly through the crowd. There's a goblin juggler who's like, hey, toss me something. And people are like throwing objects to him, and he's just like incorporating it into his juggling act. He's got like 8 things that he's got up in the air. And there's sort of trapeze artists that are seen overhead, flourishing with flips and acrobatics and whatnot. But it seems like Mr. Light maybe just kind of brought in like a little too much because there's like too much going on and like no one's really focusing on any particular thing, and you can just see he's like, oh, he's kind of fretting on the sidelines, just sort of like muttering to himself.
Could we maybe try to rile up the people around us to see maybe if they would
Yeah,
start?
Can I
calling for
remember
an
like
encore?
who liked the mermaid? When I looked around, was there a bunch of people that were into it?
I mean, everybody was kind of into it, but like, you know, she had the entire crowd enthralled. Like things were good when she was performing.
So I'll just start saying mermaid and see if I can nudge somebody else. Mermaid.
Mermaid.
And then I'll like float up a little higher, like another foot or two. And actually, I'm trying to get Mr. Light's attention if I can. Mermaid.
Yeah, everyone starts like
Mermaid.
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 And Mr. Light is like
Mermaid.
Mermaid.
And Mr. Light's like, no.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
like,
like,
mermaid?
and he starts like he's waving his wand around, and you can see as he passes like the wand over some people start to kind of perk up when he does that, but it's only localized, and he says, don't stand on the sidelines, don't let us have all the fun. Step right up. Prove yourself. Be the next main attraction. He's like pointing over at you two that started chanting mermaid. And he's like, the grandest stage of them all lies before your very eyes. You have a captive audience, ready to delight and impress.
And
Come on, folks! It's showtime. Let's give him a
Oh.
big round of applause.
Uh-oh.
And he's like motioning for you two to come on down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. And I'll float on over, nice and scared.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
It gets like dead silent.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah.
He's like looking at you. He's like, "Please tell me you got something. You got a little something."
Well, I'm kind of strong for a little fairy. You want me to pick something up, or? I don't know.
Yeah. Pick up go pick up Burley.
Where is he?
You can see
I look
Burley
around.
is like he's smoking a cigar off on the sideline. Like
I
he's
fly right
got
to him.
he's got like the pumpkin like off his head, and he's just like lounging, and like you're flying over there, and
Hi.
Hello.
How heavy does he really look?
Yeah, he's solid. He's a
Oh no.
solid muscle.
Just go with it, and I'll grab his pumpkin helmet and I'll put it on,
And he says, "Hey."
and I'll float away.
So you're flying around with the pumpkin hat?
Yeah, I'm hoping he chases me.
Oh, okay. He's just sort of confused as you're flying around. You're flying around with the pumpkin hat, like some of the kids in the crowd are kind of like clapping, but it's still pretty quiet.
And I'll put it on his head.
Oh. Okay.
And then I'm
Can
gonna
I do-
pick him up.
Oh wait, I don't think I could do a thing.
You're gonna try to pick up Burley.
Absolutely.
Give me an athletics check.
Not gonna work. Okay. And I'm gonna use a reroll. There we go.
All right, so you managed to kind of like grab him. What are you grabbing, like his hand or?
I'm hoping to grab like
Scruff of
part of
his
his
shirt.
vest and pick him up. Yeah.
Okay, you grab kind of like the front of his dungarees, and he just goes, "Oh
Yeah.
gosh, oh my
And
gosh."
as I float up, I'm hoping I get him off the ground a little bit.
Oh yeah, like you get him up, he's like you get up like 10 feet in the air and are kind of hovering him around, and like you're getting, I mean, this was a stone cold crowd, but like they're starting to warm up just a bit here. Lim, you had something you wanted to try?
If Burley didn't come, I was gonna try to do disguise self, but then I realized it's only a foot
Oh,
that you
okay.
can adjust the height. But could I try to like use prestidigitation like on Maple's wings to just make them like make them pop and like try to make her all like kind of glowy and stuff, and just kind of give little spruces.
Yeah, give it a little razzle dazzle.
Mhm.
That seems people like that. They're liking the pageantry of the neon lights and whatnot.
What is the ground made of?
It's just like dirt, like it's just ground, like floor.
All right, she's gonna go ahead and pick up dirt and bring out her little fork tool and just throw it up in the air and continue. As she throws it up, it'll just bark once, and she'll pick up more dirt and start running around the bottom on the ground, picking it up. They would bark once, and then she'd pick up more dirt and go like that, and then bark once, and she's starting to circle around the floor, running around.
Okay.
Not really looking at the audience. She's starting to sweat as she's bark, and then
Make
By the way, I was hoping to get your autograph after this. I'm really impressed with your show.
make a performance check.
all right. Performance.
Can I cast Druidcraft while I'm holding him like this? Is that a thing?
I'm gonna.
Not if you need a somatic.
Yeah, verbal and somatic. Sorry.
I'm gonna
Okay.
reroll.
Yes,
That's a good idea.
that is a great idea.
All right, much better. Fart.
So people are just like throwing down hate on you, and they're like, "What the hell is this? Boo! Bring back the mermaid!"
Yeah, the mermaid.
With that, I will try to exit with Burley because this isn't working.
All right. Yeah, Burley's kind of asking. He's like, "Okay, I think they get it. Can you put me down there, friend?"
Yeah, it's put.
And like the
Thanks for calling
crowd,
me friend.
the crowd is just like deflated a bit, and you can just see Mr. Light is just like, oh no, oh no. Sorry about this, folks. Be sure to come back at in 4 hours. We're not done yet. We got plenty more to go. We still have, we still have the crowning of the Witchlight coronation ceremony. Yes, we still have to crown the Witchlight monarch. Wouldn't that be fun? And like nobody's listening to him. They're just like kind of filing out. Like, what a waste of a ticket. And all sorts of people are just kind of grousing. But Lim, you've been kind of keeping all of that out of mind. You've been focusing on looking through what your familiars saw. And at some point, you saw that the man transformed into a Kenku and then went over here to the Pixie Kingdom.
Okay.
Grabbed
Shoulda
a
known.
bag and sprinkled a little dust on himself, and then he shrank into a little guy, and then like walked his way into there's like tiny little village, it's like those um little Christmas setups with the little miniatures and the little wagons and tents, and he's walking around in there.
And if I remember right, like when I'm looking through the eyes of my familiars, like me can't see, but I can
Correct.
still like
Right.
talk. Okay, like so I can't see. I'm gonna like blindly like kind of like slap around and like feel for like wherever my party is and be like, guys, and like I'm gonna reach out and feel for someone's face and hope it's someone that I know. That wasn't Candlefoot. It was the Kenku. I don't know if I might have touched a stranger, but like I'm yelling out for the party to tell them that wasn't Candlefoot, that was the Kenku.
This dreaded Kenku. I'm
And
gonna
he's-
go.
Oh, I should
Oh.
probably say too. He's at the Pixie Kingdom and he made himself spawn. I think he's gonna cause more trouble.
I'm gonna go step on him.
And I'll cut off and I'll follow after
Do
Arlo.
we all notice this?
I'm calling out to the party, so like she was looking when she was calling out, but she's making it known that the Kenku is at the Pixie
I'm
Kingdom.
going to the Pixie Kingdom to step on a Kenku. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. So
Just about had it up to here with that youngin, that youth.
Whippersnapper. Ne'er
Did
do
we
well.
all hear her then?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. What's going on?
Just
So-
follow us. We're gonna
If
step
You
on
got it.
stuff.
big limb, then
The
yeah, I'm gonna head
Kenku's
towards
at the Pixie Kingdom. Just start screaming it.
The
So
Kenku.
you head over to this copse of trees that shelters a miniaturized fairground. At its heart, you can see a hamster runs inside a tiny Ferris wheel that is encircled by minuscule wagons and candy stalls. There's a pixie that sits cross-legged in front of the hollow of a tree at the entrance of this tiny realm.
That is adorable.
So do
Can
we
I-
do it in the pixie realm? Lim?
I saw the Kenku who had turned into Candlefoot to Boo with the mermaid, he ran over here, sprinkled himself with some dust to make himself small and go in to the kingdom. And I'm actually gonna. Did he take the dust with him, or did he
He sprinkled it on himself, and he
Mhm.
became teeny tiny, and then he went into the village. like-
Okay.
So you couldn't take it with him. That's too big.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out is if the bag of tiny dust was that left behind, or did that become small with him?
The bag is still like laying on the ground, and actually, this pixie seems like he's over there, and he's kind of like putting some of it back in the bag, like he's trying to like scoop it back and save some of it. He's like trying to tie off the bag.
I'll go over and kind of help, kind of scooping it in. Be like, "Hello, did you see a prankster Kenku come through here?" As I'm kind of helping them scoop.
Yeah, I sure did.
Where
He
where
helped
did
himself
he
to some free dust.
I see that. Where did he go? We are security.
He kind of points over to this little pixie kingdom. He's like, I think I saw him go into one of these wagons here.
Do you know which one?
Uh, Not exactly sure. I think it was one of the blue ones, but I don't know which one. You can see there's like two that have kind of a blue fabric on them.
Why would he do that?
How long does that fairy dust last? Pixie dust.
It lasts for
Lasts.
1 hour.
Well, then let's just wait here for an hour, and he'll have to turn bigger at some point, and then we can make him small and step on him.
I'm gonna would Lim be able to kind of like crawl in closer, like lay her face on the ground and kind of like peek into some of them?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Sure.
Does he live here? Does he have friends? Why would he hide out here?
He's looking to cause some mischief.
Mr. Pixie, sir.
Oh, I'm gonna use a
He
reroll.
says, I don't know. I don't know him.
I am for sure gonna use a reroll. Perception.
Oh,
God
boy.
dang these rolls, man.
You're peeking in. You look in all the couple of blue ones that he pointed out. You don't see them. You're looking about. There are some tiny people in there. Like many of them are getting on that little Ferris wheel and taking a little mini Ferris wheel ride, courtesy of the hamster. But
Love
no
it.
mini kinku.
I'm gonna, from where I am, because I imagine that like because she's like kind of like peeking in, like laying on the she's like basically like in the middle of this tiny little circle of things.
Yeah, some of the people are kind of looking up, like the tiny people are looking up at you, like not happy with that. And then the pixie kind of chimes in. He says, "Yeah, it's a little rude, you know. They're trying to enjoy themselves, and you're kind of you gotta imagine what it's like from the perspective of us. Or you get your face all down in there."
Oh yeah. Sorry. She's gonna think back. She's like, yes, I do actually know what that feels like. And scoot back. And she's gonna kind of. Are we allowed to have some of that dust?
Well, it's one ticket punch.
Yeah, I think we should draw him out.
I
But
would
I mean, a
rather
minute ago
s-
he was a Kenku, and then he was the other guy, so he could look like anything.
Yeah, you're right.
But if he's causing trouble, we should be able to find him. Hit me, and I give him my ticket.
Punches the ticket and then like reaches into the bag and sprinkles a little bit of the dust on you as you become tiny sized.
Ooh.
And then you feel like you're in that microcosm of the carnival becomes lifelike size to you.
Do Do you want me to like stay out here in case he like gets big? I mean, I'm not.
I will wait here in case he gets big.
I think
and
Arrow's gonna
will
wait.
Punish, and then you should keep an eye on Maple.
That's
Probably.
fair. I'm not good at perceiving things, and I'll hold out my ticket.
You wait here.
Punch, and then you become teeny tiny.
Oh, great! I'm smaller. Cool. My own
Now, since you were small to start with, are you even tinier than tiny?
Just like half the
Does
size
it
of the
put
pixie.
them all to the same size?
I didn't think of that.
That'd be funny.
No, actually, proportionately, like you're like the same size now. So
I can look you in the eyes. And she's still got like hair in front of her face, so it's like you're not really sure how she's seeing you, but she's like she says she can see you.
Maple was small as well, so now they're both tiny, but we're closer.
That's right. Yeah, we would have been able to see each other in the eyes regardless.
Vish
But
and
now there's a third
Shion,
party.
you came with to the tiny people place, right? Vish?
Question. You said he's Mr. Light said that there was going to be a final thing for how long from now?
he said in 4 hours.
Okay, and that's gonna okay. All right. I think as everyone rushes out, Vish would look to Shion and go. Do we go with him? Do we stay here and talk to the Mr. Light? What do we do?
I think we should wait for him to come out, but I have an idea.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Thunderwave, mostly for the noise, not really to affect anything, but mostly for the noise, just because of distraction and hopefully get them out.
All right. So, you could definitely cast this in such a way that it won't damage anything. So
That's
you
what
do
I
that,
do. Yep.
and it makes this boom. And as that happens, let's see. Tiny people, you can give me. Give me an insight check at
Ooh.
advantage. I would say Vish and Arlo, you could make an insight check just normal.
Okay.
Okay. Lim, Arlo, and Vish, you all see one of the tiny people, like all the tiny people are kind of scattering about. Those that are like on the Ferris wheel, like are covering their ears, and like other people kind of hit the ground and cover their heads. But there's one person who is dressed up in sort of a tweed jacket, big mustache, big droopy mustache, and like glasses, big oversized glasses, is like scooting and like making his way out this way.
Huh. I guess it would be hard to tell if they're Kenku sized if we're all kind of like the similar size. Is Teak the hummingbird close enough where I could send them to follow?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna instruct him to
Is
do
this
so.
one of the tiny people that are making a run for it?
This is the little tiny person.
I'm gonna.
I want to
gonna-
be right behind that guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
was
would
gonna.
be chasing that. I would be chasing the tiny person and trying to
Oh yeah,
pick them up.
you could pick him up. You just
Okay.
and he's just
I
like
grab the tiny person.
trying. His little legs are just spinning.
I
Hey, put me
ask,
down.
Are you actually a tiny person?
I mean, right now I am.
If I just hold you here for like 45 more minutes, are you gonna turn into a normal sized person that looks like a Kenku?
I can just I'll just do it now. And he kind of wills himself to grow, and he drops the disguise. You just see it like magically like transforms into the Kenku.
Gonna land on his
Why
shoulder.
have you been causing so much mischief? I got a pox you in your gullet.
Ow! Hey! Easy.
I didn't actually hit him. I
Oh.
said I oughta.
Oh. Oh. I'm just preparing for
oughta.
it. I'm just preparing
oughta.
for it.
I don't actually.
Why I oughta.
I just do that. I oughta give you.
Hey, I'm just trying to do same as you guys. Trying to get a meeting with the Mr. Kindle and Mr. Light. Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.
Yeah, well,
You're
you've
really
already.
mean.
Yeah, that was really mean of you to do that to Kent. You know how emotionally, uh, you traumatized that poor mermaid emotionally. They were gonna be engaged, but then you. First of all, how'd you take that guy's voice?
Oh, with this, and he kind of holds up. He's got this little like kind of like straw doll that's tied around a piece of twine around his neck.
Lim's gonna perk up. Does that doll look familiar?
Um, not not exactly. Like it's not the doll.
Oh wait, you said straw, not hair. Okay.
It's made of straw, yeah. But definitely, probably, you know, you start to think, people, when you see
Uh-huh.
something familiar, you start to think about your own stuff.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so for a moment, you're thinking about your own thing. So,
Oh totally.
All right, so how about this? You give back Candlefoot's voice. Can you do that?
I'm just borrowing it. I'll give it back.
But give it
Yes,
back
you will.
now, and then my friends and I are going to see Mr. Light and Mr. Witch at some point, so we'll bring you with us. And you'll have your chance to talk to them if we can get our chance to talk to them.
Make a
Which-
persuasion check at advantage.
Okay.
Maple would like to land on his shoulder and just grab onto his robe to the point where she's got him, even though she's tiny and can't really do anything.
Advantage, you say?
Yep.
Persuasion. Can I
rope.
re-roll that?
Yep. And
do
if
it.
you're using your reroll, you have advantage.
Advantage on the re-rolls
Yep.
too, even? Okay. So I will re-roll that at advantage. Pretty much the same.
And he says,
I don't think I have. I thought I had. Hold on, let me. One ability. Nope. Okay, that's nothing to do with persuasion. Okay, sorry.
I'll give it back, but I'll give it back after this meeting.
Okay. Will you also then help us explain to the mermaid lady that you were impersonating her candlestick foot?
I suppose I can do that.
All right then. Well, do we have to? Hey, can y'all make yourselves big again at will, or do we have to wait?
Lim will leave the pixie village and give it a try.
Yeah. As soon as you just kind of think to yourself, I want to be normal again, you start to grow and become
Okay.
normal again.
I will
am-
say we should all head back to the big top and see if we can get Mr. Light an audience with Mr. Light. He seemed pretty downtrodden that everything went wrong. So perhaps this is Kenku dude, and Kenku dude is gonna come with us.
Right.
I'm watching you.
Do you promise that you're not going to do anything suspicious or sneaky behind our back?
I'll behave. Look, I want the same as you. I want this meeting. So if you got a way to talk to him, I'm all about that. But you gotta watch out. This Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, they're gonna play dumb with you. They know a lot more than they're letting on.
What do you mean? Why you got me to the meeting?
Well, I, I've overheard from others that they say they can't they can't go to Prismere, or they won't talk about Prismere. That's where you're trying to go too, isn't it?
How do you know that?
Well, I overheard
You
you were
following
talking.
us?
You were talking to the little lady, the gnome. I hear a lot of
Yeah.
things. I've also overheard Mr. Witch and Mr. Light talking.
About
They got. I think someone's got some power over them. Sometimes I listen over by their wagon. They talk a little agitated like. They whisper. Someone's going to find out. They'll shut us down. And like, the Kenku immediately starts like evoke their voices, like is talking in their
Mhm.
voices. And says, "We agreed to this pact. Our hands were forced, but our eyes were open. We let the Hourglass Coven take what it wants, and in return, we stay in business. That is what you want, right?"
the
We
Hourglass Coven.
the positive thing here is that Mr. Witch and Mr. Light have a problem, and people with problems will do anything to get someone else to solve them for them. So this should work in our favor. Let's go to see them right away.
Do I have to get bigger?
You do
Mm,
you, Maple. You
nope.
do you.
Ah,
So you all head over in the direction of the staff area.
As we walk, I'll let them know. The carnival is becoming melancholy. We need to be careful watch our steps.
Hmm.
Ah.
Yes.
Do you think we should talk to the only thing I could think of that we might be able to fix at the moment would be again that proposal people, but I think it might be more important to talk to Mr. Witch and Light. Or Witch and Light.
I agree.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe we can find the mermaid and tell her that Candlefoot indeed was not the one who was saying that stuff.
Yeah.
I
as
think
long as
that
we
would be
keep an
good
eye on
for
this guy,
people.
he won't cause any more trouble.
Yes, I think we're okay with. I think he's going to follow us politely for the time being, unless we take too long to get that meeting. Then he'll probably cause trouble again, right? Right.
As we left
Yeah,
the
probably.
very, very wise.
as we left the Pixie Village with everything getting back to normal, them getting back on their feet and unplugging their ears and everything. Otherwise, I'll just tell them it was a passing storm and things seem okay now.
Okay. The you can tell like the pixie guy like he kind of saw you cast the spell and he rolls his eyes a little bit. But like the people down in the like little village are like getting on with it and like getting back on their
Okay.
rides and everything like
Okay,
that.
perfect.
Um,
I didn't want to leave that in disarray.
yeah, yeah, they eventually like just kind of get on with it.
Okay.
And so you all make your way over to this tangled wall of thorns that surrounds the wagons. You can kind of see the wagons are just barely visible through the thicket. But probably with the exception of Maple, who is both tiny and could just fly over the wall, um, the rest of you would have a little bit of a challenge. It'd be a little painful kind of squeezing through this thicket. But doable.
uh, Fish will go over and first try to yell over.
Say, we need to talk. We need to talk. Mr. Light, Mr. Witch, we need to talk now.
And then you hear a voice on the other side say, "Hey, who's making all that racket out there?"
Oh, is that my friend Burley?
That doesn't
Me.
sound like Burley.
Mr.
Hey, you
Light,
kids, knock it off!
I'm not a child. We need to talk now. We found the perpetrator.
Hmm,
Perpetrator.
that's a big
Why-
word.
I'll fly over.
She's gonna
Try
get
to-
another stone and throw it over.
Hey,
Perpetrator.
we'll throw rocks now!
Lanza goes, perpetrator.
Maple, you fly over, and you just see. You see what looks like maybe like the most pathetic clown in the world. He
Excellent.
is just he's just wearing this ill-fitting suit. He's smoking a pipe. And
Oh
he's
boy.
on
Oh,
the
so
other
this
side.
is Thaco.
This is
Oh, what
Thaco.
the-
And you see, as you're flying over, you see he's going over. He's like picking up the rock and he's like throwing it over the hedge. And he's like, "Hey, keep these rocks out of here!"
I'll fly right up into his face. So I'm taking up his nose.
"Oh, hey!" He starts to like kind of start to swat at you.
Oh,
Make a dexterity saving throw. So you're
Nice.
kind of like buzzing around, evading him as he's trying to like. You get like high enough up in the air where he can't like quite get you. You know,
I'll
"Hey,
float up to
little
his
bug,
nose.
little bug!"
I want to float to his nose and go.
And do. I'm sorry. You're hitting him in the nose.
Yeah, just the same thing. Just clapping his nose the way he's trying to clap me.
Okay.
Just
And it's just like honk. There you.
excuse
Stay away
me.
from it.
We found the Kenku that's causing all the trouble. We have to talk to Mr. Light.
Oh yeah, so okay, you got the kenku. That's great. And he goes over by the
Open the bush thing.
bushes, and they separate. And he says, and the kenku is like, it's just like part of the plan, right? Like you guys aren't gonna rat me out or turn me in.
You're
No,
fine.
just don't worry about it. We're fine.
She's gonna turn around and go, you're. And she's gonna smile like this to her.
You
on.
see the kenku's like kind of hyperventilating a little bit.
It's a good plan.
Calm down, young Kenku. It's going to be fine.
Oh,
We're just
will be
going
well.
to talk. Right? Part of the plan, like you said.
Thaco like comes up by you. He's like kind of looking at the kenku and like, man, he smells really bad. Like he just smells like a bar from the 80s. It's all smoky and like an ashtray.
Thank
He's
you
an
for
ashtray
op-
person.
Yeah, thanks for opening the thing. I
Yeah,
think
you're
I'm just gonna
welcome.
start walking past him just because.
Get out of
Reasons.
get out of the radius. And so he leads you over to what is, so there's like a couple of different, you know, wagons and whatnot that you see. One of them is probably notable in that it looks like it's basically a wagon that is just a water tank, so you can probably imagine who lives in there. But he leads you over to what is probably the most ornate, fanciest of the wagons. And he just goes up to the wagon and he says, "Hey, Mr. Witch, we've got some company. They finally found old Kettle Steam." And the back, like the door, like the side door of the wagon, opens up, and you see a sort of rotund looking elvish looking man, a Shatterkai, who is holding, he's looking down at a pocket watch that is attached to a golden chain, and the pocket watch is kind of lit up or glowing a bit. Kind of there's this glowing radiance that just reflects off of his face as he looks down on it. And he closes it, puts it in his pocket, and he says, "Well, well, well, look what we have here. You finally captured. Old Kettle Steam has been giving us quite a bit of trouble, been running amok throughout the carnival. You have my thanks for delivering him to us."
We need to talk to you before we hand him over or whatever. He actually needs to talk to you too. Can we have an audience with you briefly?
Well, my time is precious, but I could spare a few minutes for you having done this favor for me and my brother.
Very well. Inside or right here, or do we need Mr. Light as well?
He says, "Oh, Mr. Light there was a little bit of a fiasco at the Extravaganza tonight, so he's got his hands quite tied at the moment.
Very
Um,
well.
but please come in. It is a delight to meet you all." And he helps welcome you up into the wagon, and he like holds out a hand and lets you step on up. Um, and you can kind of see on the inside of the wagon, um, two um, kind of like a bunk bed kind of thing, and a little writing desk. It's very cramped in here, but there's enough room for you all to kind of stand up inside. He goes and he sits down on the bed. He says, "You've got my ear, you've got my attention. What is it that I can help you with? You look a little bit familiar to me."
Yes. I did work here 8 years ago, but I was unable to make it back to camp. I had left and then I kind of just couldn't find my way back before it left. Um, all five of us are actually looking for something we've lost here last time you were around. Um, and somebody mentioned that it could be that these items are in. Help me out here, Lim.
Oh, Prismere.
The Kenku's just like, "Prismere, Prismere," and he's like
Prismere.
he's looking at Mr. Witch. He's like, "Don't pretend like you don't know it."
It's also come to our attention that you potentially have a problem. So we're hoping that in exchange for information, we could help you solve one of your problems.
Well, and unless you can convince a dejected mermaid to get back out on a performing stage before the hour ends, I'm afraid I have no problem. There's nothing that is troubling me. But you say that your
Kettle's team,
things,
can you can you rerun your recording?
and Kettle Steam does like kind of like start to like evoke all of that again. "Someone is trying to find out about this. They'll shut us down. We agreed to this pact. Our hands were forced, but our eyes were open. We let the Hourglass Coven take what it wants, and in return, we stay in business. That is what you want, right?" And you can see he just kind of like narrows his eyes on you, Arlo. And he says, "Things go missing all the time. I am sorry that you have misplaced your items, but you say it happened some 8 years ago. Sometimes you just need to forget what is lost."
No, that's like
We can help you with this problem. Also, we can get that dejected mermaid to perform again.
Well,
I think, at least.
he just says, "If you were to be able to do that, that would be wonderful, but I'm afraid it will simply be a favor on your part. I know nothing of your things. these words that the Kenku speaks, it is but a trifling matter. I wouldn't concern yourself with that. It is well under control, I assure you. There are forces at work all the time that are beyond our control. Sometimes we just need to let the wheel of time turn ever on and let what happens happens. I would suggest you forget about your things.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well,
Not
that
gonna
is
be
your
able to
cross
forget
to
about
bear
things.
there. I am quite busy. If you'd like some free tickets, I'm sure just talk with Thaco. He'll be able to help you out. Was there anything else before you leave? And you can just tell, like, the mood has changed. Like he's like, I'm not talking to these guys.
All right. Yes. Okay. Where's Mr. Lightweight so we can maybe help out with the mermaid?
Oh, well, I'm sure he's still down there at the big top trying to get ready for tonight. For the crowning ceremony.
Okay.
Thaco, would you see our guests out, please? Thank you. And Thaco kind of was like, all right, guys, come on, let's go.
Hold on a second. Sir, have you noticed that your carnival is becoming more melancholy? Perhaps is that the issue here?
Yes, it is, isn't it? The
It's really
joy.
sad.
It is sad. But ever so more important that that we get her to sing again, that we get the children to play some games. I feel many things have gone wrong tonight. It has just drained and leached the joy from the carnival. If there's anything that you could do about that, of course. And he kind of like,
Spread some joy.
make I don't know, Shion, just give me like a not a persuasion check or anything like that, but just like a charisma check.
Oh,
Charisma? Okay. I'm sorry. Hold on. There you go.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, he just says,
We don't use a reroll.
oh
Hold
yeah,
on.
go ahead.
We'll try reroll. Just for fun.
9. No.
Gee, that's so much better. We'll do one more just for fun.
You got this.
You just use one reroll per roll.
Okay.
So he just says, no, if you could play some games, enjoy yourselves. Every little bit counts.
Towards what?
Goodbye. And Thaco's like kind of wrangling you and pulling you out.
You must take your leave.
Could we try
He was
to
not
maybe
very cooperative.
make our way towards the big top, saying like,
Yep.
we need to talk to.
But Thaco is definitely like grabbing hold of the Kenku, and the Kenku's like looking at you all like, what?
No, Thaco, we need to take the Kenku with us in order to help get the mermaid to sing again. It's
Mhm.
very important.
Then
What are
can
you
Yeah.
talking about? You can't let him roam around free. He's been
He's with us.
putting maggots in pies and getting little kids hurt.
This
I
is
don't,
not the Kenku
I really
you're
don't
looking
care about the
for.
kid thing. I hate kids.
Why are you working a carnival? There's tons of kids in a
Whoa.
carnival.
I made some real bad moves early in my career, and now
Yep.
here I am.
Why don't
Sounds
you
like it.
escort us and him, and we can back to the mermaid together?
Maybe there will be a beer in it for you.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion?
It's based on
Just charisma.
Arlo spoke to something that he wants a hard one. This
Oh
I'll
my
use my
gosh.
last
I love
reroll.
Yeah,
All right.
reroll it. Oh man.
Our rolls have been rough.
They've been terrible.
Mhm.
Okay, he
There we
says.
go.
He
Better.
says,
16.
"Okay, we're making a whiskey, and you got a deal there, man.
Okay. I'm sure I can find some whiskey somewhere.
Okay, here we go, bird." And he starts like pushing him forward, and the Kenku's just kind of you could tell like maybe allowing him to like manhandle him, but
Mhm.
probably the Kenku could
I
do some
feel like
things here. But he allows this to happen, and so he starts to kind of escort you out. And just given the time, maybe that is where we're going to end things as you're making your way from the staff area and you're heading towards where the mermaid would be at the big top. I think that's your goal, right? Is to go and talk to her.
Correct.
yep.
Okay. So sounds good. All right, so thanks everybody for hanging out with us here tonight on 20 Sides to Every Story. Hope you had some fun with us. This is our second episode of The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. We do this every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. But if you're watching us on YouTube, thanks for sticking it out. Thanks for watching our playthrough. If you enjoyed this, you want to join the community, I definitely would suggest jumping in and joining our Discord. You can find the invite link to that either here in the Twitch chat or I'll put it in the description of the video if you're watching this on YouTube. Um, the Just a couple announcements of things going on this week. We've got a couple of new campaigns launching. Um, Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. we got DM Dave running some Dragonlance, so he's gonna be doing a 5e Dragonlance game, so that should be some fun. So come check that out. We've also got Saturday night. Ed is going to be launching his Shadefall Carnival campaign using some of the sort of the mirror to this campaign a little bit, and they sort of have a linkage. So it's kind of cool. So they're doing that on Saturday night at 7:30. We've also got community campaign coming up on Friday night at 7 p.m. We'll be running some Temple of Elemental Evil. So if you want to see some of the old school adventure in the new school rules, come check that out. I think we're all full on players on that one. But come join the Discord. You can see there's a couple more signups for the month if you want to jump in and play and get into our Temple of Elemental Evil campaign. So with that, we're going to throw a raid over to... Oh, Drake Takes is streaming. So let's go say hi to them. Thanks, everybody. We're going to pull the stream offline. See you soon.
Goodbye.